Hi, and welcome to Follow the Reader, a mini video series in which I interview a member of our community to share our thoughts on books, reading, and the library. My name is Karen Leahy, and I am the Digital Services Librarian at the South Kingstown Library. Today, I'm joined by Ingrid Lavoie. Good afternoon, Ingrid. How are you?
Good. Hi, Karen. How are you doing?
Good. So tell us, Ingrid, what do you do at the library?
Mainly, I check in books and I help people with their requests. I shelve. If there are new books coming into the library, I process them, which means just getting them ready for the patrons to be able to take them out. It involves a lot of stickers. I didn't know about that before I got my job in the world of labels and over stickers and under stickers and taking them off. Yes. But it's really, I feel spoiled because I get to see a lot of new materials and I get really inspired when people are returning new books and then I can request them, or, things are added to our collection that look really good and I take them out. Yeah. It's a good perk.
Working in the library is basically having a never-ending to-be-read list.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I cast a wide net, and I have tons on my night table. I usually have a lot of books going at once, unless I find a good book, but it doesn't happen that often. I love that feeling of you can't put it down, you can't wait to read it again, get back to it. But it's kind of few and far between.
Yeah. So tell us then, what are you reading right now?
So right now, book-wise, I'm reading something that's called Allegra Maud Goldman. This is what I read when I'm just about to fall asleep at night. And I found this book because one of my favorite books is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And by putting that sort of in the search engine on the website, other books came up by similar authors or similar genres. So this came up. And when I was reading this, I mistakenly thought it was a true memoir. That's how real the voice of this character is. But it's a novel, but it's just such an interesting slice of life back in the 30s of this young girl growing up in New York in a Jewish family. And she's kind of misunderstood by her family. She's got very modern thoughts, and she questions the world around her, which is really refreshing.
Sounds great. And so you're enjoying it so far?
Totally, yes.
Great. Do you also have a favorite book you've read recently?
I do. This one I've pulled out, and it's like a tried and true. This is Ordinary Grace by William Kent Krueger. Mm-hmm. I've read it twice, and that's a pretty high benchmark if I've read it more than once.
Yeah.
It's such a good story. It's the type of book that within the first page, you're in that world and you're just totally ready to go and follow the character. I like a lot of books that aren't like very action-packed.
Yeah.
But I like to really get into the character of what their life is like, all the different details, what their struggles are. Back in the day when Oprah would have her book club, I usually really loved all her choices because it was usually a protagonist that had a struggle. And you followed that character through that struggle. Yeah. I think that's really interesting to see how people rise above what, conflicts are in their lives.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you. Now tell me, are you the type of person who uses a real bookmark? Do you use a piece of paper? How do you keep your place in your book?
Well, truth be told, when I can reach for it, I have a beautiful bookmark that someone left in the library book. It's like someone's artist palette.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be truthful, I do dog ear.
Oh my God.
I know. Don't tell Janice. I know. It's terrible, but I won't necessarily dog ear a new book. But if someone has dog eared before me, I'm like, well.
Well.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but hey.
Oh, that's okay. I won't tell anybody but the whole internet.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you have a favorite reading snack or drink?
I probably would like a nice piece of dark chocolate because I think reading is a good way for me not to be eating, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I have to say, a lot of my reading is cookbooks and baking books, and that leads me to baking and eating. So it's kind of this cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
A horrible cycle.
Not necessarily. Those are your words, Karen, not mine.
And do you have a favorite place to read?
I definitely want someplace quiet.
Yeah.
You know, I fall asleep reading a book every night, and I think that's a nice way to kind of come down from the day and clear my mind. I know that sounds weird, but it helps me drift off to sleep. And as I'm aging, it's very easy for me to like nod off if I'm sitting in a chair during the day reading.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably in bed.
Okay. And what do you love about libraries?
Oh my God, where to begin? First of all, the great people that work at them. But it's true. They're very, I mean, like, think of pre-Google how important librarians were to find out information or solve problems and answer questions. I mean, we still do, but not to the same extent.
Yeah.
I have a favorite old movie. I don't know if you've ever seen Death Set. The premise is these people, Katharine Hepburn's in it, and she works in an office where they answer all these questions, and this guy comes in and he's introducing a computer to, and they think they're going to lose their jobs. But anyway, right now, I think libraries are super, super important for not just, you know, lending out books, but all different resources. I think it's great. Like in our library, you can get a backpack with trail maps and compasses. I mean, how cool is that? You can get cake pans if you need to do a specific strange toy truck cake. You could probably find that at the library. I know there are cool binge boxes. If you have a favorite genre of movies, you can get a whole thing selected for you and you could watch like a whole weekend's worth of your favorite film characters' best films. I think it's really interesting to see the different types of people who use the library. I wish more people realized what they could get from the library. It's not just books. I mean, I know I'm going to date myself, but you can get great music. I mean, you can download or you can still do the traditional CD.
Yeah.
Of course, DVDs, magazines. I'm a huge magazine fan. I love that our library circulates new copies.
Yeah.
Because as a patron, I would be frustrated sometimes if I'd go to the library and I'd see the magazines, you couldn't take them out.
Right.
You had to wait for it to be an older issue. Yeah, I'm kind of babbling. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, no, that's great. And do you have any special memory of a library that you could share with us?
Well, when my children were small, when we first moved to the town, my daughter was 1 year old, and I actually took her to a story hour in our old town. But when we moved to South Kingstown, we went to Kingston Free, and that was our library. And I just remember I was new in town and I introduced myself and I asked for like a little tour of the library, and that really broke the ice with the librarians there. So they kind of got to know me. I got to know them, and they watched my kids grow up, which was really, really special. And they also knew my kids' tastes. And would kind of say, oh, you know, this came in, we thought of you. Or, you know, my kids got very well versed in, you know, borrowing books and getting requests. So that really made it special. It made us feel kind of part of the community.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember. I think when we moved to the town, not long after, I became very pregnant with my son. So the librarians followed that whole thing. And then I remember taking the baby seat and putting it on the circulation desk for them to meet my son for the first time. So that was kind of sweet. Yeah. So it kind of became like family. I mean, that's how I know Janice. I knew her from Kingston Free when I was just a patron.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And now our kids are big.
Great. So that's all I have for the questions. Would you like to nominate someone to be on Follow the Reader?
Yeah. Is it okay to nominate someone from another library?
Sure.
Has India Brown been asked?
No, she has not. So
all right. I'd like to hear from India. Okay,
great. I will let her know. And thank you for being on Follow the Reader today.
Thank you. It was very painless. You did a good job.
Have a great day.
All right. Bye, Karen.
Bye.